What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 2 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Yuan Bo Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we had our first few battles culminating in a pretty darn big battle with the savage orcs of the Blue Vipers assaulting the force of Yuan Bo and yet losing pretty darn handily. We ended the episode off with the forces of Theobald Skelnor, specifically the Jiangxi rebels, and the massive amount of undead trying to attack our Jade warriors and peasant archers that make up the bulk of the second army that we have back over in Cathay. Should be a pretty interesting time. If nothing else, we're seeing a lot of horde action or massive amounts of enemies attacking us rather at the same time, and I'm excited to see more. So let's get right to it.
Proud and ensure our empire is forever glorious.
Alrighty, here we go. A proper debut battle for our dragon-blooded lord here, and it's going to be 2 full stacks of the dead. I love fighting the dead, and I love playing them, or playing as them, rather. As many of you know who have watched previous campaigns of mine, the vampire counts are my favorite faction. I just love watching them, watching the zombie hordes fight, regardless of whether I'm attacking them or defending against them. Anyway, this is going to mean we're going to have to hold off a much larger force than ours, but fortunately this map is particularly good for that sort of thing, especially in the early game when the enemy doesn't have access to casters or anything fancy like Mortis engines, and thus we can simply take this pass here and hold it against the enemy tide of death. Even more than that, our dragon-blended Shugengan has the wall of wind and fire and the dragon's breath abilities, so should be able to just mow down zombies and skeletons with pretty decent ease. Since the enemy attacked us as well, we are just going to wait here until they come to us rather than needing to bother annoying them in any way. We just have to get them to actually come to us. And it looks like they're just going to take their time to set up all those units, and, you know, the zombies move quite slow at 29 speed, although actually a little bit faster than I was expecting. Huh. I could have sworn they used to be slower. You would expect them to move... I mean, they're barely slower than standard infantry speeds. In fact, they're faster than our Jade warriors, and granted, our Jade warriors are armored, but these are zombies. Huh, interesting. Interesting. I gotta double check what their movement values used to be and what they are like in SFO as opposed to vanilla. But anyway, the enemy army approaches finally, and we're going to have a heck of a number of enemies to be seeing off here. Okay, maybe a couple more seconds as they head towards us. And the battle will open, by the looks of it, by our peasant bowmen, who will be firing at the Fellbats as they try to move their way in. I was going to particularly or specifically target the Fellbats anyway, so I'm glad that the Fellbats are moving as the vanguard of the enemy army, because I'd really rather the Fellbats not drop in on our peasant bowmen and stop them from firing on the rest of the hordes, and it's ideal that we knock the bats out and prevent them from doing so. Alrighty, looks like a decent amount of damage to the Fellbats brings them down to about 25% HP, and this first unit is just about done. Alright, crumble away, and the second unit will follow right on their heels. Do bats have heels? I don't know. But either way, they're going to die is what we're getting at, and there we go. They move close enough for even more of our units to fire upon them. And it looks like these guys will be brought down pretty much just as quickly. Fantastic. Now, the reason that all of our arrangements didn't fire at the same time was essentially that I deployed 3 here, and then between them, the peasant longbows, and then behind them, even more archers, so they don't exactly fire at the same units at the same time. And this was partly because the peasant long spears would protect the peasant archers if the fellbats landed, and partly because since this is just a tide of basic undead units, we can simply allow the Jade Warriors to hold the line with their armor and not have to be concerned about the long spears at all. Anyway, all the peasant archers will begin to fire into the zombie hordes, and it's probably a good move of the AI to send the zombies first rather than the direwolves or the skeletons. Send your basic units, your tar pits, your garbage in to waste our ammunition. This is how you play the vampire counts in the first place, so I'm glad that the AI is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Waste our arrows on those zombies, especially since you have plenty of them to go around. Zombies, I mean, not arrows, although the arrows are no slouches either. Alright, these guys are going to be making their way up the hill, but once again, there's plenty more where that came from. We're just waiting for as many of them as possible to get into the a blob within range of our lord, so that we can hit them with a few spells, or start hitting them with a few spells. Gonna start with that dragon breath, knocking a few of them out. I'm doing a little bit of damage. In fact, let's see how much damage that first spell did. 31 kills and 14k damage for one spell that cost, I think, 5 or 6 mana. That's not too bad at all. And once again, just like the arrows, there is more where that came from. These guys are taking their sweet time, slowly moving up that hill and allowing those arrows to land among them. Alright, they're nearly there now. Soon the Jade Warriors may actually have to engage in combat. But I'm sure they've been itching to. Alright, unfortunately this is a slightly dark map, at least up above here, so that's why I'm keeping it to the enemy's battle lines. Another very nice Dragon's Breath moving through the enemies here, and 153 kills and 31k damage. Our Lord is really gonna rack up a heck of a kill count after the fight is over. Alright, and it looks like the enemy army has finally, well, not breached our defenses, but at least reached our defenses, and we'll start blobbing up around the Jade Warriors. We will continue to hold while all the peasant bowmen drop those arrows overhead. Hopefully with a little bit more arcs and a little bit less direct fire, so as to avoid firing into our own units and doing more damage to ourselves than the enemy does. Now we're just waiting for a sufficiently large blob of enemies to essentially just blob up around our defenses, such that we can start using a bigger spell with that wall of wind and fire. There we go, Dragon-Blooded Lord doing their thing and getting us those lovely animations going. Always enjoy watching these. And would you look at that, plenty more dead where that came from. This is an appropriate battle against the vampire counts. Almost reminds me of certain survival games, you know? And ooh, here we go. Finally, the spell is coming out. The enemy is blobbed up well enough. And let's see how much damage we can do here. So you're at 188 kills and 33k damage. Let's see what that racks up to after this. Defending this pass has been absolute perfection. Really helps against all of these enemy units. There we go, that wall of wind moving right through the enemy army there. And that's got to be a lot of damage. Look at all those poor units so heavily damaged by the spell, and we're up to 348 kills suddenly. And if I can just select you, damn it. Alright. Game, why you gotta make this difficult? And 62k damage, very good. Over 30,000 damage from a single spell. Not too bad at all. We've also been holding back a little in this particular fight, as we have not yet summoned our Ancestral Warriors. Not until now. That is, the Ancestral Warriors are summoned on the field around, or at least close to, the enemy Necromancers to try to distract them and start attacking them. I'm hoping that we can at least kill one of them off before these Ancestral units units disappear, but it's not like we really needed them to defend our main line, not against those basic units. It does look like the Necromancer is taking damage. We're losing about 25% HP so far, and we're having no trouble continuing to defend against the dead up in the pass. A pretty lovely little debut fight for the Dragon-Blooded, wouldn't you say? Ooh, there's that levitation and the exploding, I don't know, Iron Man blast sort of thing that those lords do, and it looks like most of the enemy units here are beginning to crumble away. Still some Crypt Ghouls and Dire Wolves left to fight, but we are now able to no longer really hold the formation so much as send our units to clean them up and move forward. In addition to that, we've pretty much run out of ammunition on all of our peasant bowmen. Only one of them, I believe, has a tiny bit of ammunition left, so they've certainly done their job and softened the enemy targets before the Jade Warriors moved in. Alright, and how's that balance of power looking? Still about, let's say 75% in our favor only. A little bit less than I would have thought, because I really don't think that the enemy has sufficient forces anymore to deal with our armored units. I'm trying to catch a few more of those animations of our Lord, even if it is still in the dark there. And dropping the last of those spears, and it looks like just like that they will all suddenly crumble away. One last charge from the Jade Warriors as they head downhill. One last volley of arrows, and the enemy army will end. And by the close victory, by virtue of what the whatever the heck this decider thing at the end is saying. But well, if I'm not mistaken, the only reason the game was considering this a close victory at all is because we completely ran out of ammunition on our range units. How the enemy could have handled the rest of our melee, I have no idea, but sure game. Sure, close victory. Alrighty, there we go, and a decent amount of money racked up for that little fight, not too bad at all. And we should be able to heal up to full as well, especially if we forego the 365 gold in reward. Anyway, I think that battle was a particularly good showcase of why, when playing the vampire count, specifically Sylvania, it's a really good idea to destroy the dwarfs as early as possible. That armor, those armored units on basic units like the Dwarf Warriors, and the same thing for us with our Jade Warriors, is such a toughie for the zombies and the skeletons and the basic vampire counts units. And obviously the lack of range and that pass made sure that we got all of our ammunition from those peasant archers, all of them racking up over 20k damage in the early game, which is pretty darn good, and a 65k damage on our spellcaster, our lord, as well, who's already at level 5. Isn't that lovely? And Tormentor Swords are always nice pickups. Anyway, we're going to Venerate, and that'll heal us up, and we should be able to move to Bridge of Heaven or otherwise destroy those armies without too much trouble. What is this? Nuku Cho's crossbow. An old woman garbed in peasant robes beckons you over with a gnarled finger. Never breaking eye contact, she presses something into your hands and then bows and walks away. You make to discard this surely worthless trinket, then notice a silver moon inscribed upon it. The mark of the Empress. The legendary hero... Okay, wait. Active magic missiles, Bolt Storm. Magic missiles. Now, I don't like magic missiles. I imagine this thing should be relatively similar to something like the band spell that the Wood Elves get, but we shall see. Anyway, Scroll of Blast would be useful. And there's that Bolt Storm thing we were talking about. Ah, there's the Onyx Croman. And we'll add those in a second. You have gotten income from buildings. Tax collector. Swell, and then a war horse as well. Lots of stuff happening on this little end turn. Now, you unfortunately can't get the Onyx Croman yet, as in the Purus Crowmen, or whatever they are, the Regiment of Renown, but that's okay. We're going to go for 2 points in Unyielding here to buff up our eventual Celestial Dragon Guard, but for now, the various Jade Warriors. And I take it the range units don't double dip in this, so we'll have to get Celestial Dragon Crossbow buffs as well. Seems like a little bit much, but well, we'll see. Fortunately, we also have you in the Searing Doom, and I guess we'll get another point in Glittering Robe, and then another in Gehenna's Golden Hounds. We'll probably, well, we're going to be spamming Searing Doom more than anything else, and we should still, however, go into Metallurgy as well. Anyway, you, in terms of the items that we just picked up, who do we give the Boltstorm thing to? Does this army need it? We also have the Ruby Ring of Ruin and the Scroll of Blast. I don't remember, do the Yang casters have anything like Kindle Flame? No, unfortunately they don't. Just a lot of fire spells. A base weapon damage and armor piercing damage. I do wish for that Kindle Flame, but alas, not possible. This is the area augment that gives us leadership, mass, and expert charge defense for 24 seconds, but isn't anything crazy. We're much more likely to be spamming Wall of Wind and Fire and Dragon's Breath, both against the Skaven and against the other units we're liable to encounter here in the early game, so we're going to buff those up, and then we'll go for Strength of Yang after on you. You're already a fairly strong spellcaster, so I think for now we'll give the extra spell abilities to you guys. So Scroll of Blast, Ruby Ring of Ruin, and you as well. You can reposition yourself and just keep casting those, and then we'll give other items to Yuan Bo. Speaking of, you should be able to auto-resolve this now because we destroyed most of them last time. It'll probably hurt a little bit more than I'd like, mind you. But oh well. Occupy the place, please. Pahwax is ours, and hey, we got perfect vigor and seasoned campaigner already. That was a little bit quicker than I usually expect it to be, but I can hardly complain about it either. And we're gonna get the Empress Crowmen, which are Onyx Crowmen. Next turn, we can also recruit Jade Warriors here directly, which means we should probably do so. We won't get too much value out of the Peasant Spears, to be perfectly honest, so I'd rather do that, replace them with Jade Warriors and Onyx Crowmen as well. Alright, fantastic. What do we got in terms of builds available here? Well, let's get the High Sentinel up and running. We're going to be fairly reliant on trade in the early game, and, well, throughout the game, I guess. And we want to get that Iron up and running and buff that port as fast as possible. And the recruitment cost is no longer of value in this particular place, so we will instead go for the Jade Dragon's Edict to get the public order up and running. Alrighty. Next up, we have you. And what you can do for us. First of all, wait, I want to take a double check at the matters of state, and ooh, 2 more turns until we can move the compass around. The Great Bastion is, oh, casualty punishment plus 10. Oh, that's really helpful, especially in the early game. I have to think about that. Alrighty, but not right now, because it's not something we need to do right now. You have also returned, which means we can send you again, can't we? Alright, and you can go to, let's see, 3.6k, more there. What's the 9 turns? So twice as much. Only 6 turns to go to the Border Princes, though. Not too bad. Though we will have to go through the Darklands, I guess. 3.3k. Let's try the Border Princes. Let's hope that you can manage to survive, let's say. And I forget, how many caravans can we have active at the same time? Is it just the one active caravan, reserve caravans? Also, we should take a... Ooh, Nangao ties. Oh, Fire Rain rockets and... Oh, we should hire this guy just in case. Although, wait 1 second. We have something that will buff the hiring. 1 second. I know. Is it here? Is it a tech? And if it is a tech, it's probably far away, isn't it? Buff the hiring levels of our Caravan Lords, but I do not for the life of me remember where it is. Unless I missed it already. And I don't want to wait too long because that one lord will disappear. It couldn't be something that's on you, could it? Let's see. Your capacity for astromancers. Construction level. Oh, that's Lord Recruit rank for Dragon-Blooded Shugengen and not the Caravan. Okay, well then, never mind, game. Never mind. We'll get Unyielding here. We should probably get him at least some of the spells. Probably Blossom Wind, just because the wind spells can do fairly well against the numerous units we are going to be encountering in the early game. I would like to buff the other units up here, but I don't think it's as worth our time at the current, well, time. On the other hand, at rank 8, we're probably better off waiting for those. Okay, so either way, that doesn't change this. You are going to get activated with Nangao Ties, and that's just swell. And you can... Huh? Oh, wait. I changed the active one, my bad. You will go after the active caravan goes, but you have a fantastic lineup with 2 crane gunners and fire rain rockets. There's few early game armies that are going to have an easy time dealing with you. Now, your turn. And you're probably going to have to auto-resolve at least a few of these. We do want to claim Bridge of Heaven, but we also want to destroy these armies. And hopefully we don't take too much damage to the auto-resolve screwing us, as it has a tendency to do. An ugly tendency to do, I should say. Joss Hupt Anderson. Dawnstone, not the worst pickup. Probably better off putting that on our Lord. We just can't reach Bridge of Heaven here. Oh, well, that's a shame. All right, fine. You're going to return back here, or rather than raiding, and you're going to use the time to recruit a couple more units. Granted, this will be minus 400 next turn, which does mean we need to quickly build up, grow, etc. to counteract that. Speaking of, we should also see about any new trade agreements we can get going. Northern provinces are nearing to it, but I don't think anything else. And we'll obviously have to keep an eye on the available confederations. Alright, looking swell. Do you need level ups? Frankly, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this particular army as yet, but Unyielding is a pretty valuable few points to make these guys a lot stronger, so we'll probably spend those there as well. And either way, that'll likely be an administrative lord, or at least to some degree administrative. We can... I mean, I guess we can get enhanced metallurgy now. Increased mobility would also be swell, but later on a little bit. You will keep the training camp for now, because it will mean no need for a training camp in Aymara Swamps, and we can make it into a sort of economic hub rather than military. We have to go north to Hexoatl anyway, though the concern there is, who do we go for first? Both of these guys are certainly potential targets. I guess we'll see. Armor of the Dragon's Gaze. Oh, looks like we do have our first quest issued. We'll give this a read once we complete the quest, or if there is another portion to it. You will also have completed your research, and that's the extra growth that we're taking towards, so we're going to continue taking towards it. And the rest will be relatively ignored for now. We're at minus 412, which is indeed fairly concerning, and it's going to grow as we get those Empress Crowman on here, and now we're at minus 538. Lots for an early game time, but nonetheless. And we're going to go into raiding here to counterbalance that. Wait, what? Minus 908. Oh, it's because we headed out of Pahwaks. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's fine. Keep on raiding, and we can stand to lose a little bit of money while we destroy these guys. Keep looting, keep building, and fix that economy as fast as we can. We can always delete some units if it's needed, because they were relatively cheap to recruit in the first place. Okay, Shilong looks like it's fine. You're gonna go to the Bridge of Heaven. Oh, this guy's over here. Well, can't do much about that. Auto-resolve it. And a Scepter of Stability. Getting lots of early game items, though. I do like that. In some campaigns, it's been an absolute hassle to find items. Keep the training camp in Baleful Hills for now as well, and definitely keep collecting income. What do we got in matters of state? Crackdown. Target settlement instantly completes any ongoing construction. Your faction creates 4 random magic items or ancillaries. That's quite interesting. And then the target settlement's buildings instantly swap between their yin and yang equivalent where possible. Quite quite interesting as well. However, I think the target settlement instantly completes any ongoing construction is going to be the most valuable, and we're going to want to use it on a capital, hopefully that's building multiple things at the same time. Neither one of you will be in that particular category as yet. We're going to need a few more turns to get there, so we'll just keep going as we are. Skip, skip, and turn. Should also double check for any additional factions found via our caravan routes, as we could potentially get more trade agreements going. And that's why we're trying to get those iron mines, iron pits, whatever up and running. This animal trainer or exotic animal thing up and running. You will be dead shortly. Valanduil. Huh. Are you against us? Because I would love to attack you. Peace treaty, no. That's not going to happen, my friend. And you're actually going to attack. Foolish, tremendously foolish. But hey, who am I to complain? Go for Venerate just to keep this place growing. I send this particular settlement, and there we go. Oh, who do we have here? Clan Chrysaorus Skaven. Faction destroyed, and damn, these guys managed to take Shilong before we did. That's a little bit of a shame. Stage Astromancers, hero cost and hero action success chance. Well, that's swell, but we cannot recruit Astromancers at the current time, can we? No, we need a building to actually do it, unfortunately, despite the increased capacity that we generally have. Anyway, village for you, collect the income, and yeah, we're gonna need Shilong somehow. Minus 29. I don't see that happening at the current time. Also, quick deal. Let's see what we have going on here. Western provinces, let's definitely get the military access with you. And give us... yeah, just give us a tiny bit of money. And the rest of this, I think, is good. We'll probably want the various agreements with you guys as well, in fact. I guess I should have gotten here just a little bit sooner to Shilong, but oh well, what can you do? Any islands here? Yes, there's a fell cargo right here, so you can go pick that up. And is there any island down here? They do spawn here periodically. Sail to the wreck, we just auto-resolve this little battle for a little bit of extra money and stuff, and we can take the money because we're not fighting anybody, and then can simply move back and heal up. Another tax collector, swell. Enemy hero chance, treasury plus 5,000, not bad, not bad. And I guess you will not be able to return to Bridge of Heaven in a single bound? No, you will not. You could, in fact, land at Baleful Hills if you wanted to. I guess the question for this army is, where will it go next? It could sail down the river and go all islands here. It could actually leave and join our armies here via the sea lanes if it really wanted to, which could be a significant option. Oh, I already noticed our compass is back up and running. The other option would be to attack these guys here and help out against the Skaven. Maybe we should destroy the Skaven early on. The AI is particularly bad at using the Skaven in the early game as well, so certainly potential for that. Anyway, land, head to the Baleful Hills. Yuan Bo, you are going to proceed to destroy the Blue Vipers. The other option would be to ignore them, let Valanduil land, and then attack him next turn, which looks like it might be a very decent option as well. I do kind of like that. Could make for a pretty nice battle, I should say. Alright, you know what? Keep raiding. If these guys are at war, I'd like you to land. And then we can attack you and then sail... oh, but then we have to sail down and coast and then attack these guys. Which we are planning to do so anyway, don't get me wrong. But do we need to do so right now, as opposed to moving up north to Hexoatl in our first relay? It might not be as beneficial. You know what? Maybe he'll attack us. Let's do that. You can... ooh, just barely move there. We have to go for Hexoatl anyway. And there's a mysterious island there. Do this, auto-resolve. Maybe with us being slightly damaged, he'll be willing to attack us. Occupy the place. And Blue Viper is destroyed. Hug-lug goodbye. Another Sword Master. Nothing but Sword Masters. And the rest of this is fine. Collect the income, obviously. And hey, our income's positive again. Imara Swamp, so you have to build something here, and it'll have to be a growth structure once again, I think. And growth first, money later, I guess. And same with Public Order. Oh... we could also get some quick Iron Hail Gunners on the field. The Onyx Croman will be built out of this particular building chain. Where are the Lions built from? Oh, it's only a tier 3 settlement to get both Jade and Jet and the Astromancers, meaning we gotta get those up and running as fast as we possibly can. And doesn't change the fact that we will want to go for the growth building here first, and I guess we are going for the Yin one because I like the income from buildings here. Okay, that looks good to me. We can always switch later if needed. Maybe the construction cost would in fact be better here. If we keep stacking them, it is local province. You know what? No, let's go for the construction cost instead. And then I might switch you to construction cost reduction as well. Do it. It might save us more army in the long run, but I'm not entirely sure. Alrighty, so the Great Bastion, we're good here. And next up, we could get the bonus control out of Celestial Lake, which is pretty good. I do like the extra casualty replenishment rate. It's really helping with the early game aggression, but the recruitment cost is no longer necessary, and we can always go back to this if needed. Oh, this has the the Lord Recruit rank for Caravan Masters, but I think for now, the bonus control is probably the way to go. Yeah, let's do those. Let's go Celestial Lake for now, and just keep switching this thing, and there we go. It's switched for the next few turns. Alrighty, Yuan Bo, stay here. You're gonna hold on to the XP that you found. Let's skip, and go to next turn. Alright, can't get a new army up and running yet, but soon. I'm sure. Will Valanduil deign to attack us, or will he get into a war with Hunts Marshall's expedition instead? I feel like he won't attack us, and in fact, yeah, he won't. We're probably too strong for him at the current time. You don't need replenishment, because this particular caravan is barely damaged. It'll also take the spice barrels. We've already read that particular event last time. Valanduil is still out here, eh? Man, I am so tempted to attack him, but it'll allow these guys to be a little bit stronger by virtue of that, eh? Construct the buildings that contribute to harmony. 3 buildings that contribute to harmony. Alright, that's great. Hexoatl is currently fighting Skeggy, which is as it should be. I was hoping that they were going to get to a fight with the New World colonies, but it looks like both of them here aren't fighting each other. I'm just so tempted to go after this army. It does look like the Pillars of the Unseen Constellations will fall to you. But then if this guy rebuilds an army and goes for us, and Marcus does nothing... In fact, here's what we'll check. Marcus, you are fighting Apostles of Change, and that's it. So you're not actually fighting Valanduil. It's just such a tempting battle. Damn. And we can't reach Maku Peaks or Machu Peaks in one turn. Also, what are you doing? You're not near anybody, really. It looks like the northern provinces are doing okay. Let's move towards Qingpo and see if we can at least threaten it. Oh, faster to go this way. Are you able to actually cross the river here? No, I guess we'll find out. I don't want you to build any more stuff at the current time, at least. At the least. Alrighty, and there's a little bit of construction to do here as well. Keep building it despite the relative expense. We should have met some new factions by now. New World colonies, I don't care about your agreements, and the rest of that looks fine, which means... Also, wait. Armor of the Dragon's Gate, we need one more. Okay, fine. You know what? It looks like we're gonna attack Valanduil. I just can't resist a battle, even if I don't think this is necessarily the best idea at the current time. Who knows? Might be a fun little diversion. We could always sail down and destroy their main faction. Declare war. Yes. Never. He's standing right there, and he's in full speed stance. And this should be a lot tougher than the orcs that we've fought so far, because they have dark shards, which means more fun. We can either... Let's see, wait. We can force you into this battle, correct? I think so. I think he's moving down to there to attack them anyway, so Bloodhall Coven... Who? I'm not giving you 4k. He'll attack them himself, I think. I'm 90% sure once they're weakened that he'll attack them himself. So, Yuan Bo, attack yourself. Let's Alright, close victory and medium casualties. Looks like a decent amount of fun. The enemy has plenty of dark shards, but they are not of the shielded variety, so they will still be vulnerable to our peasant archers, though all the armor-piercing damage on them will be threatening to our Jade Warriors. Otherwise, we should have a good time. Here we go.
It is not merely by my birthright that I maintain ordered ranks, but my diligence, capability, and force of arms. I trust none other than you, the chosen of Cathay, to stand by my side against these foes.
Alrighty, here we go again. It would have been wrong to end the second episode without another battle with Yuan Bo, and of course we will have one here against Valanduil and these various Dark Elf units. Necessary or not, it should be pretty darn fun. Anyway, we're gonna open up the battle with a Gehenna's Golden Hounds and a Searing Doom right into the biggest formation of enemies we can find. It looks like the Gehenna's Golden Hounds will do significantly better than the Searing Doom by virtue of the enemy having a tendency to block that. A Scroll of Blast coming in and actually blasting a decent amount of enemy units off of their feet while the rest of our units try to charge the enemy army. Obviously, said enemy army is fairly weak by virtue of the... Wait a second, fresh? Huh, I thought they were in full speed stance. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Damage sustained, steady. Well, that's great for them, I guess, but we are still in a pretty darn superior position, I would think. Balance of power is already about 65, maybe 70% in our favor, and we have more range or more flying units on the field now. In fact, we should actually take a look at the Empress Crumman. Ooh, and they are so pretty. I love these guys. I wish we could build more of them. I mean, with this color scheme rather than the regular color scheme. Oh man, I'd love to get these guys or the Cathians as an ally for the Dark Elves, and then build the Raven Heralds and surround them with some Onyx Crowmen as well to go for a little bit more of a crow theme. But anyway, and those guys are going to move on to the field. We've engaged the enemy with our Jade Warriors wherever we can, although obviously against the Dark Elves, Jade Warriors won't prove nearly as effective as they will against other forces by simple virtue of the fact that the Dark Elves have easy access to armor piercing via their dark shards in the early game. We're going to use our Empress Crowman's ability, their Nangao grenades on the enemy. It looks like it's done a significant amount of damage, 6.5k and 124 kills in one volley, and certainly helping our balance of power shift towards our favor. Yuan Bo has already transformed. In the meantime, the Longma Riders, great Longma Riders, they're pretty great, and the other Crowmen are just moving in the back lines, chasing off enemy dark shards, and I guess in this particular case, enemy corsairs with handos, and preventing them from making good use, or any use, I should say, of their range. Without their range, the armor of our Jade Warriors will tell, as the Dread Spears and Bleak Swords lack sufficient armor piercing and must rely on the dark shards to do that damage. Thus, the Jade Warriors should outkill the various Bleak Swords and Dread Spears units. And of course our own Lord and such will be able to kill the enemy off as well. Speaking of the enemy Lord, yeah, looks like he's shattered and will not be coming back, and with him shattering, the rest of the army will shatter quickly as well. Alright, well, so sorry to you, Valanduil, but then going near to our territory was not the right move. It just tempted me far too much. Alright, a couple more hits. I just want to see the death animation. A few of those deadly zoomies from Yuan Bo. And then we can speed it up while we chase off the rest of the enemy. Hey, where are you going, Valanduil? I don't think you're going to be escaping the dragon here. Or maybe you will. Let's see. Yeah, once again, it's one of those problems fighting Footlords. They get knocked around, but they don't take damage due to the invincibility frames. Yeah, still 12-16. It seems like, I guess we're better off using Dragon Form to kill tons and tons of enemy. I do feel a little bad for Verlandeville here. It's better off using that ability, or the Yuan Bo, rather, to kill enemy lords in sort of foot form, or his foot lord form, and then using the dragon form to kill piles of enemy infantry instead. Would make the most sense, it seems. At least against enemy footlords. I suppose against enemy monstrous units, as in lords with mounts and stuff, maybe the dragon would be the superior way to go. Hard to say. We'll experiment more a little bit with it as we go. Anyway, battle is over. The enemy lord is moving away, but not for long, as Yuan Bo will sight him once more. I think we have X marks the spot again. Yes, indeed we do. And the Emperor's Executioner, or Dragon Emperor's Executioner, brings Verlandeville down. That's really what I was waiting for. Now we can speed it up. I still have not gotten tired of that skill at all. And there we are. A decisive victory, Verlandeville down, and certainly, whether necessary or not, that full stack of Dark Elves can no longer threaten our shores until they're replaced. Alrighty, there we go. Certainly a few enemy units remain alive, and we did take at least a tiny bit of damage ourselves, but otherwise not a problematic battle at all. The vigor reduction from that march stance really did do the man. We're going to continue taking the money, even though this will heal us up to full, mostly because, well, we have armies that have put us into the negative right now, so we may as well. Scroll of Blast, Great Bandits of the Silver Road. Peasant archers are available, as well as the Grace of Chuai Yin, Celestial Dragon crossbows, which we can put in somewhere, for example, even here to lead our own archers, or in the other army because it might need them more. I'm not sure. If we are going down to the Blood Hall, we may want to start off on it right now. Let's go to this, grab this mysterious island, but hopefully stay in our own sea territory to heal. Get Farsight and Standard of Wei Jin. Leadership +6, enemy leadership -4, effect range 35. I like it very much. And then you can go right there into our own territory to heal. Fantastic. All right. That's good for you. The rest of you are good. You are not rank 12 yet, but you're certainly on the way. We should also be very careful with our public order, which is not so great right now. Alright, well, I'm really banking on this guy having attacked these guys in the next few turns, but I guess we'll have to see. How's the public order looking here? We're definitely going to have to get some public order buildings, if nothing else. Research rate, recruitment cost, yeah, that's all great, Yang, that's all great, but, Alright, unassigned skill points, skip and turn. We'll deal with the skill points after. Or, more likely than not, generally the way I do it is dealing with them before we actually get a fight. That does sometimes have a tendency to bite me. Oh, you're actually willing to peace out for money now. Huh. You know what? That's not so bad. Counteroffer. Let's do this. Payments. We'll take the money. We'll peace out with you. And then that'll allow us to move northward to Hexoatl without the detour, which is probably the better way to do it. You, 2 more Ogre Bulls, or 3 more Jade Warrior crossbows. Considering this army is very light on range, well, actually it has 4 units, but mostly melee, I'd still be more inclined to get the Jade Warrior crossbows, even though we have more buffs to the ogres from this particular army. Let's go Missile Warriors. It is 3 of them after all. Grandmothers know best. Corruption -5 in the Bridge of Heaven. Well, that's great. Hopefully somebody attacks Shilong. Also, are you fighting the lizards? Yes, you are, which means there's a decent chance of us confederating you if you get too badly damaged by Nakai, which is probably going to happen eventually. Just have to keep an eye on that, or head ourselves down there as well. You, Jiao Ming, where are you going? And do you like the ogres? Oh, you don't like each other very much. That could be an unfortunate aspect, but oh well. In the meantime, let's send you all the way to Xingpo, or at least hopefully close to it, and proceed. Yuan Bo, you are no longer needed down here, at least at the current time, so I guess we'll skip that fell cargo that I was hoping to get. We're going to go into March stance, we're going to grab this mysterious island, then head back around probably, and try to grab Machu Peaks here. Although that will start us up on a power prescience again, another chunk of maps, and a jar of all souls. This lord will be wounded instead of killed in battle. Cool. I don't see myself using this, to be perfectly honest. How many territories do you have? 3, eh? And Hexoatl has 4, so they're expanding a little bit better, but we probably won't have a better chance to attack Hexoatl itself. It has some decent defenses. Either way, you're going to go around here. It's not like they're allied or anything, so we're not super concerned about it ourselves. I am concerned about the public order, but once again, not much I can do about it. You ready to go to tier 3? No, not really. Let's get the iron mining pit rather than the growth. I know, but it's mostly for the possibility of establishing additional trade agreements rather than anything else. Is this due to provincial instability? Partially, but not so much. Alrighty, skip, and turn. Let's go again. Anybody gonna do anything interesting this time around? Oof, lots of trade goods around here. We're going to have a good time trading. We should send an Astromancer up to Ulfwan because we'll have the potential of trading with all of those. Faction destroyed, clan Krazor, don't care. Grothal provinces care very much. A Blooded Axe tribe has come and near us as well. Are you able to land here? Yes, but not to attack directly, but not to worry. That'll change quite rapidly, I'm sure. Oh, they actually have a full stack there. Can't say I was expecting that. And there's an ogre army nearby. Well. We probably won't be able to kill so many Saurus warriors in combat. These are not the Skaven or not the undead rather, or the orcs, but nonetheless, we'll give it a try. You guys can't build anything, so there's not much we can do this particular turn. And then you have to keep marching on Xingpo, which looks like will take at least one more turn to do. Let's move into channeling. In fact, I probably should have been channeling this entire time. Absolutely my bad on that one. And start moving forward. And we'll find some Skaven here, and hopefully, if I could take this entire province as well from the Skaven, that'd be fantastic. Once again, we're probably going to lose a province to, or a territory, to one of the other factions. I guess we can forego the training camp here for now. We could always rebuild it if we need to. But I think we're not going to have more than 2 armies on the field for a little while, so yeah, tech is up next. A Rite of Yang gives us the Banner of Feng Shi. Immunity to Psychology? Meh. Upkeep reduction for Yang units will include Jade Warriors. That's a 10%, and that's pretty significant. Gotta go with the Rite of Yang. And then income from sacking settlements I don't care about, so we're good there. Next up, Diplomacy. Gonna double check again if anybody is good at. Eastern River Lords who have lost the province to the Lizards. Getting close to that Confed. A little bit worried about the potential damage to our public order there, but, well, I don't see any way to avoid it. Unassigned skill points skip for now in the turn. And now it's time to declare 2 new wars, both with the Skaven and... Ooh, hello. Is that Deathmaster Snitch himself, perhaps? I mean, I suppose even if it is, he'd rather run than fight us, most likely. New World Colonies, will you declare war on us? No, you want a non-aggression pact. Foolish. Or perhaps smart. At the end of your turn, have an income of at least 200. Well, we can certainly achieve that. And we certainly did. A leadership plus 24 assigned. Unit enter a military alliance with any faction. Should be easy enough as well. And Thunderguts destroyed. Apostles of Change destroyed. Oh, Caravan completed. Swell, more money. Grant of land. Income from all buildings, all provinces. Oh, that's fantastic. This is one of the Princesses of the Big granted ownership and ties from patch of Tilean land. Alrighty. Don't give this to the Caravan, because if the Caravan loses it, I am going to lose it. And that is a great buff. Let's put it on you, because you're kind of a... I was right here. Let's put it on you because you're kind of a semi-admin lord in the first place. Now, you're going to want to get unyielding on all of these units. Probably could have actually hit Xingpo last time. Oh, wow, these guys have some Warpar throwers up and running already. Not too bad. Yuan Bo, how are you doing out here? Oh, these guys are near to Hexoatl. And you're not allied with anybody? Oh, in fact, you're not fighting anybody. Well, that's tremendously interesting. If you're not fighting anybody at the current time, I wonder... You're not fighting anybody. I'm just wondering whether we can force them into a fight with Hexoatl. You're fighting the New World colonies, but I doubt that you will fight. Either way, that doesn't change this. You are going to declare war on these guys, because we have no choice, because we have to take Hexoatl to build the relay. You're going to attack Machu Peaks, and you're going to auto-resolve it because it has nothing in it, but we'll give the standard of Wei Jin probably to one of the central units of Jade Warriors. We could also give it to the Alchemist, but just in case, I think, considering it's an only 35-meter range. Not worth our time. And attack and occupy, please. And there we go. Armor of Dragon's Gaze, just like that, is complete. And giving us diplomatic relations with Grand Cathay. Armor plus 10, enemy hero action success chance, and the armor of the Dragon's Gaze. Self-damage resistance plus 10%, and an aura leadership for allies. Nice. I am going to give the quest a quick read, however, because I like to do so. Shining jewels of brilliant jade are said to lie hidden throughout this land, looted by enemy powers too foolish to know their worth. According to ancient rumor, such gems are teeming with mystic energy, granting boundless sight to any who should possess them. Armor adorned with such jewels would be a powerful boon indeed. One need only wrench the shining stones from the hands of the unworthy. And wrenched they have been, which is great for us. You're still rank 10, so you can't level up. The demolition is just complete, and you are about to strike in a second. I just want to take a look at what we have in terms of buildings. Pahwak's ready for an upgrade. Celestial Riverlands, lots of stuff ready for an upgrade, rather. Let's do this. You are going to upgrade next, and we'll get more growth out of those grazing pastures. Frankly, I probably could have done that earlier, but, then you are going to go for that bamboo scaffold depot. And on top of that, either the exotic animal trainer or... Well, we're not building the defenses here, at least not in central Cathay. I'd love to get more military stuff, mostly to try to tech towards the fire rain rockets as fast as possible. But we could also do that at tier 3. Money is going to be very, very necessary, well, as soon as we possibly can manage. Let's see, current effects. Harmony effects would give us upkeep reduction and income. Yeah, we probably want the harmony effects, although buffing early research wouldn't be too bad either. Meaning we could go one of these, or we just forego it and go for the exotic animal tamers for more trading. Northern provinces are ready for trade. It's not going to be much right now, but it'll grow and it'll allow us to establish more friendly relations with more factions. I also want to... Oh, did I not send the other caravan out? I gotta double check that. Ah, hello. Jade Custodians are ready for a confed, and so are the Eastern River Lords, who are about to die to Nakai, but I guess we'll send them down there. This will be, I think, the better choice. So we're gonna confed you right away. Gonna be a very big problem public order-wise, but I don't see how we can avoid it.
Let us stumble through
Do it.
together. We grow.
Alright, lovely. We grow, and there's now a lot more stuff we can do. Alright, public order, control -4, rather. -4? Huh. Did they reduce it? I thought it used to be -8, or is that only an SFO and not this? It's still very hard, so we should still be losing a difficulty level. Jade Court and Jade Custodians. Okie dokie. You're a new army. You can... wait. Where did you get that? Oh, wow. Actually done a decent job building stuff. Go figure. They actually have some merchant caravans, and the loss isn't too bad, considering they actually gave us a new army. Fascinating. And I take it you have military provinces? Yes, you do. Well, we don't really need the corral, because I don't... Yeah, that's a waste of our time. But the rest is certainly not. Just gotta get Shilong from these guys. Man, certainly expanding quickly. A little bit too quickly. I think I'm going to have to call the episode here, and we'll figure out what we're doing with all this next time. Speaking of next time, we'll attack Shingpo and then start moving towards the Skaven here. Yishi will attack the Village of the Moon. Hopefully by doing both at the same time, we can heavily damage this faction. It does look like, however, that Miao Ying will probably take some of the other territories here before we can get there. Though maybe we can get to Kunlan before they do? We'll have to see. Otherwise, we will be having most likely our first battle at Hexoatl, so stay tuned for all that. More battle variety, if nothing else. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.